All right, so as far as the DMI, since it's oscillating above and below zero there, let's say, you want to identify when it's greater than 0.5 or less than negative 0.5. So this is becoming a bit of a lesson with the threshold solver. All right, so solvers, let's put this on the default time frame. Grab another threshold solver here. All right, let's plug in the DMI indicator. There we go. Again, I'm just going to use this standard 14 period. And then, all right, so right now, right, the default settings for the threshold is, greater than 0 or less than 0, right? So there we go. Whenever the DMI is greater than 0, we're getting a long output, and when it's less than 0, a short output. So if we want to, look for more extreme values, then we can put in 0.5 and put in negative 0.5, like so, and let's hit apply, right? So there we go. So now we're only getting a short when it's less than 0.5, right? We're only getting a long when it's greater than 0.5. Now, in Shoshana's questions there, she's looking to block a short, when it's extreme. I guess you could say no shorts when oversold, right? So that means we actually need to reverse these conditions here. So as long as the DMI is, say, greater than this oversold value, then we can take a short. So let's just focus on the shorts here. Makes things easier to visualize, right? So now we have the opposite output here, right? So as long as the DMI is above this oversold level, then you can take a short, right? But as soon as this indicator goes down into this oversold value, there is no short output, so that would prevent a short signal, right? Because remember, we're only focusing on this one condition here, but remember that somewhere in your logic you have an AND node, and so when one of your solvers has no output, then you're not going to get a signal, even though the other solvers might have a short output. But as long as one of them is missing a short output, then you cannot get a short signal through the AND node, right? So the AND node means every single solver has to have a short output to get a short signal through the output, right? So everything has to be in agreement with the AND node. Let's see here. All right, so this would be the DMI example here. There. All right, so let me finish setting this up. All right, and so for the long output, to set this up in the same manner, you would want the DMI to be less than 0.5. Clear that up there. And let's see, less than, remember, I turned the output off. There we go. Let's turn that output back on. There. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so here we can see, right, the DMI is greater than 0.5 and there is no long output. So as a filtering mechanism. If there's no long output, then you cannot get a long signal. Alright, so now let's switch over to the DM indicator, which is what I think Shoshana actually wanted. Alright, so let's make a new logic template. There we go. Alright, so again, we're going to add another threshold solver to identify when the negative DI, right, is below 20, and let's say the positive DI is, oh, let's see, does it really get that high? Today it's not. Let's see, there we go, it does sometimes. All right, let's say 30 for the positive DI. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's, for the input, let's plug in the DM indicator. There we go, there's our DM indicator. Right, so we have 3 plots to choose from here. So for a short output or a short filter, we're going to use the negative DI. And so for a long filter, we're going to use the positive DI. Okay. All right, so now we need to figure out what filters we're looking for. So for a short signal, to filter out to remove short signals when the negative DI is, oversold, so to speak. So in other words, we need to reverse that logic here. So in order to generate a short signal, we need the negative DI. So remember, for the short output, we're looking at the negative DI plot from the DM indicator. And so we need it to be greater than 20. Right, let's hit apply. And again, let me turn off the long output there. So if we look at this, and I need to put some lines on here. There. All right. So, right, as long as the red line, which is the negative DI, is below 20, right? So the white dashed line there is 20, then there's no short output. But as soon as the negative DI is above 20, then we get a short output, meaning it's okay, it's permissible to take a short, or to generate a short signal there, as long as the negative DI is above 20. So let's reverse that for the long output. So as long as the positive DI, so remember for the long output, we selected the positive DI. So as long as it's less than 30, then a long signal is permissible. And so again, remember, in that rules window, it's using whatever plots you selected here. All right, so for the long output, it's using the plus DI plot, since that's what's checked. And for the short output, calculation, it's using the negative DI. Right? So when you open up the threshold rules window, right, you have to remember what plots did you select for the long output and what plot did you select for the short output here. So let's take a look. Yeah, so here we go. The negative, the red line, right? The negative DI is above 20. And way back here, and oh, hold on. No long output because I turned the long output off again. There we go. Let's turn that back on. There we go. And yeah, here's an example. There we go, right? We have a couple of bars here, right, with no long output. And that's because the blue line is above 30. There we go. Yeah, right. So we have a little shark fin right there, right above 30. So there we go. And there we go. There's another little inflection point right there, right above 30. And there's one bar missing that long output. All right.